of the second quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They really did some damage in the second quarter, and as things started clicking for them, they were able to get out to a 9-point lead by halftime. Hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
They came out with the right mindset. That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, that's the hard-driving offensive approach I like to see. If they keep it up, unstoppable.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
Well, sometimes you get too comfortable playing at home. This team played tonight like it's no urgency. And now they dug themselves a hole, and the energy level to get out of it is going to be extraordinary. We'll see if they come out of the tunnel with some fire in the second half, because they're going to need it.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Knicks lead by 13. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. Now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Enes Kanter.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just tore them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
And maybe him having a game like this will get things turned around for him, because almost nothing has been going their way lately. Wrap it up, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. The first quarter was all about Blake Griffin. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
You know what, Ernie, I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia?
Well, they're facing a team that shot very well in the first half. Now, that being said, they probably weren't aggressive enough on the defensive end. That was the difference.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
This game as we've reached the end of 3. It's Detroit up 1. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. That's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone. They're up by 4. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Andrew Wiggins led the way in the first half. He had 12 points and 1 assist. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Celtics?
Well, those second chance points are huge, and they only came because of their effort. Their work on the offensive glass is what's keeping them in the game. They definitely should try to continue to stay tough on the glass. It's been key so far.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
On top, ending the third quarter on a 15-5 run. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And our Jordan player of the game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And he's provided them with a major mismatch on that low block tonight. That they've been able to lean on his scoring in the paint. And if nothing else has worked, he's given them a reliable option on every possession.
For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you later. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up with 24 points, 2 assists, and 7 rebounds. In their previous game, he had a performance he said he wanted to put behind him quickly, and so far he's doing just that with the nice first half he had here. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
The speed they're playing with has been fantastic. They're pushing the ball in transition and catching the defense. That's snapping, Ernie. Anyway, a huge chunk of their offense has come on the break. They've got a nice lead, but they shouldn't slow anything down. I say keep doing what you do.
Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Raptors.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Oh, no question. He just punishes the opposition in that category, and there's no end in sight.
The third quarter comes to a close. Milwaukee on top, up by 5. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
From the rim, when he attacks, it just opens everything else up in his offensive game.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. That'll do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time. Lead at the end of the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. We'll return shortly.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first two quarters. They are leading by 4. Kenny?
Well, I like their effort on the boards because the game could come down to just a few key possessions, and extra rebounds can give you those extra possessions if you work at it.
And looking at Dallas, Shaq, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't even know who some of these guys were, but their bench came up with some big shots, gave the team a lift offensively. It's always possible those guys will see more minutes in the second half, but at the same time, if you're a starter for a reason. We shall see, Ernie.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We've got more in store for you right after this. Chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Lauri Markkanen.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
Rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Devin Booker putting in some incredible work. He had 12 points and 1 assist. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
Well, they've been playing with some toughness, and it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. And now they need to stay mean, Ernie. You cannot lose that edge in the second half.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Suns ahead, leading by 14. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
Utah finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They have the 6-point lead. Kenny?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
Well, this is a close game. Every point matters. Right now, they're not getting to the line much. To win this kind of matchup, you got to be the aggressor. You got to be, you just got to be aggressive. Dude, let's just see if they can ramp up their intensity, Ernie.
That's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
Points at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Back right after this.
It's a chance to take a breath, regroup, get your mindset, and come back out fresh.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Rudy Gobert.
And as you'd expect, he's done most of his damage in that low block. I mean, that was the game plan, to get it to him in the paint and just let him go to work. And boy, has the big fella delivered. He has just killed them down low.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Lead by 2, and the second quarter will get underway just after this short break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Marc Gasol playing terrific basketball in this one. He ended up with 17 points, 3 steals, and 5 rebounds. His great performance last game out seemed to carry right over into tonight. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, they made a concerted effort to get out on the fast break. Dunks, alley-oops, run the lanes at every opportunity, and it's wearing the defense down.
And over to Shaq, your take on the Wizards.
Well, one thing happened that really helped them out. Their bench came in and played absolutely beautiful. Gave them a huge boost. Not just trying to hold court, but actually putting points on the scoreboard. These guys should be starting, Ernie.
That's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
They're at the end of the quarter, and they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. What's your take?
And I'm sure the coach is telling them it ain't over till it's over. Yeah, but I don't know.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. Joining us, that'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. See you later. 5. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They came alive in the second quarter, gained a lot of ground, and now we're looking at a tie game heading into the second half. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, Ernie, this is definitely a big wake-up call for them. Their field goal percentage is sitting in the low 30s. They came out unfocused, unmotivated, unprepared. If they can't turn the tide and play with greater efficiency, it's going to be a long second half.
Talk to me, Kenny. How did you think Atlanta played?
Well, I see a team that's playing smart, moving the ball around to the open man, just taking what the defense gives them. There's a nice flow, a nice energy, a nice synergy to the game.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Damian Lillard.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone. Six points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
The
Show.
first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken?
Ken, as we break down the action. We saw Kemba Walker lighting it up in the first half. He had 12 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Shaq, your thoughts on the Hornets?
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. If they can carry this over to the second half, it's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
And Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Lakers.
They're not getting to the line or putting enough pressure on the defense. They have to be much more aggressive pushing the basketball, going hard to the rack. Because if you want the ref to make a call, put them in the position to make a judgment call. If you're not creating opportunities for contact, you have no chance of picking up points at the line.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
To a close with a 7-point lead, and it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Recognize our Jordan player of the game, Dwight Howard.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
Their losing streak had gotten to the point where somebody, anybody, had to put his foot down. And even though there were other more probable candidates, he's been the one to take over that leadership role. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.